Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have updates to share about Russia's war in Ukraine. So first, it appears the New York Post was correct about Putin's health. U.S. intelligence officials have confirmed that he was in fact treated for cancer in April. So as the saying goes, even a broken clock is right twice a day. But discovering the status, like I'd said before, I would think would be of utmost importance to all NATO allies and Ukraine, because whether or not he's expected to live for much longer really factors into his mindset and his intent. Now, in regard to the war itself, Russia has unfortunately made progress lately, and Russia just struck Kyiv again. They said that they took out some of the tanks that were given to Ukraine by the West. Now, Russia is freaking out about the U.S. sending mid-range rocket systems to Ukraine. Biden specifically ruled out long-range missiles, but they're still furious and they're threatening retribution. They say, obviously, if missiles make their way into Russia, that they'll retaliate, but they're also threatening to hit additional targets if Ukraine receives these long-range missiles at all. I guess I get it in a way because they want the US and NATO to stay out of the conflict, but it just seems like war for thee, but not for me, right? We can come into your country, we can take over, we can murder your people, torture them, rape your children even, but you're not allowed to bomb us. And they're still trying to hide this war from their citizens, even though Britain estimates that in just these first 100 days of war, Russia has already lost as many soldiers as they did in the 9-year Afghan war. And it's almost unbelievable. So how do you hide that from your citizens, right? They have family members. And as you guys may have already heard, there's a 20-year Russian diplomat named Boris Bondarev. He resigned a couple of weeks ago due to the war. He wrote in part, quote, "Never have I been so ashamed of my country as on February 24 of this year." And then he went on to say, quote, "The aggressive war unleashed by Putin against Ukraine, and in fact against the entire Western world, is not only a crime against the Ukrainian people, but also perhaps the most serious crime against the people of Russia, with a bold letter Z crossing out all hopes and prospects for a prosperous, free society in our country." And about a week ago, another Ukrainian intercepted call revealed that there were two high-ranking military officials who were complaining and cursing about the war. And they were also complaining about the leadership, including Putin. One of them said, quote, "There are horrible losses of our guys. Fuck. And I am familiar with military history a bit, and I compare this to the fucking Soviet-Finnish War of 1939 to 1940. It's fucking one and the same." In the war that they were referring to, Russia had lost about 130,000 troops. And then that official went on to call Russia's defense minister and, quote, "incompetent fucking layman." And he said, quote, "He's a layman in his work. This is not his fucking thing. He's just a fucking showman." And then the other official agreed, saying, quote, "Shogu is fucking shit. No contracted forces. Of course not. Why would there fucking be? They paid them 30,000 rubles. Where are they going to get contractees?" So 30,000 rubles, by the way, is apparently only 490 American dollars. So yeah, are people willing to fight and die under horrific circumstances for less than $500? No. So anyway, they went on to complain about the quote bootlickers and quote idiots that had been brought in to lead the charge. And then they started talking shit about Putin and questioning why he didn't just hit Ukraine's parliament with a rocket to begin with. The second official said, quote, "You're fucked, Putin, motherfucker. Why didn't a rocket fly into Kyiv?" And then more troops have been intercepted on calls as well. There was a soldier who allegedly called his wife, and he said that when the troops were refusing orders given by a general, the general, quote, started waving his gun and shooting. And then the general apparently threatened to shoot the soldiers. And he said a soldier pulled out a grenade and told the general, quote, "Come on, shoot me. We'll blow up together." And he told his wife, quote, "The special forces guys also started pointing their guns at us. So we pointed our guns at them. Basically, we almost shot each other, for fuck's sake." And so the fallout also continues. The consequences continue to mount for Russia and what they're doing. The EU has they've enacted a partial embargo on Russian oil. Essentially, all oil transported by sea will be banned, but oil that's delivered via pipeline will continue. I don't know if that's really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be, considering that China and India are picking up oil from Russia at dirt cheap prices right now. And, China has been locked down, but now they're coming out of lockdown. So is it really going to hurt Russia that much? I don't know. We'll see.